Following the last game against Leicester, he congratulated Manchester City. He credited his boys, his words, for pushing them right down to the final 10 days of the season. But he said this, and I quote, "If we want to take up the challenge with them, we need to strengthen our squad." Now, by the challenge, he means to take the title away from Manchester City. He believes, he's publicly said this now, Rene, that Manchester United need to get new players in. So, if we take a look at the squad now, at the Manchester United squad, and look at the depth that they currently have, they've got Rashford, Martial, Greenwood. We can see James there, Cavani, Diallo. We've got Pogba, we've got Bruno, we've got Fred. Matic, Mata, Van der Beek, McTominay is the backups perhaps, Wan-Bissaka, Williams, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, De Gea or Henderson. How strong is this squad for you, Rene, bearing in mind they just played against Leicester 2 days ago and they lost that fixture as well? Who needs to be brought in, do you feel? What positions should they be looking to strengthen?
Well, the squad is strong enough to become second in the Premier League. That's one, because you need to look at, obviously, the way that how Liverpool has fallen to try to defend the title, and that's remarkable. And the reasons are for everybody there to see. You know, losing key players like Van Dijk and the COVID situation has not helped. Regarding Manchester United, in that respect, they've, in terms of the Premier League, they've been there and up there, but they haven't really challenged City as such. They've never been City picked the first spot, and the moment they got that, they just increased the space between, you know, Manchester United. So but the other teams have not really challenged Manchester United in the second spot. So it's good enough to get to second. What do they need to do to get and challenge for the title? I think the goalkeeper situation is still a debate. I don't think, really on the long term, I don't think Henderson is the answer. De Gea has proven still, I don't know whether it's because the reason why he's probably on his last matches for Manchester United, but against Roma on itself, I don't want to be funny, but Roma could have been up. They could have scored like 2-3, and they could have scored 4 or 5 in the second, I don't know. And it was De Gea that stood in the way, so every time he stepped up, he's done great. But he might be leaving, so you need a goalkeeper. I'm not really that fan of, you know, I think Wan-Bissaka has been very good, needs to be improved going forward. Shaw has had a fantastic season. He's really playing the top of his game. Don't think there's a big problem there. Centre of defence, again, they talk about Harry Maguire, how important he is. In certain ways he is. I still think there's, you know, defensively, there's things lacking. I don't think Lindelof is the best partner, so I would look something for there. He likes to play with 2 pivots, with Fred and McTominay, to secure. The reason why that is to protect the back four. I think you need another midfield player in there that is more creative, can do a bit of both, like Fernandinho, Manchester City, you know, or Fabinho with Liverpool. Both sides. Pogba creates an imbalance in the team. He creates an imbalance because he has to play. He can't play as one of the 2 pivots. You know, because Ola wants to play with 2 pivots because defensively people run off him, so he doesn't do his defensive job. You're playing from the left, okay. You try to manufacture something there. I'm not too sure. Maybe that's the best way to say, okay, can we get some money from him and then start to look at what we need. Good midfield player. Cavani signed another contract, as we just discussed. You got fantastic talents in Rashford and in Greenwood, so you need to keep carrying on with that development, because you can't put him on the bench. Bruno Fernandes has been exceptional, but up front, again, you need some. I kept saying it all along. For me, I would have said, you know, and I don't know what exactly the situation is, but I honestly do think if they would get a good centre-back, and even you could maybe get away with not getting a midfielder, but get Harry Kane up front, I'm telling you, United would turn into title contenders.
How about this?
You need somebody up there.
Can I throw in some facts for you then, Rene? You talked about Pogba. Here's a fact. His contract will expire at the end of next season. That means he has 1 year left. They could risk losing him for nothing. And don't forget, Mino Raiola, what he said, I think it was in January, late December, early January, around that period, that Pogba will be leaving. So will they be selling him to raise funds to bring in other players? I mean, one name that's been linked quite heavily, Declan Rice. You're talking about midfielder. What about someone like Declan Rice? He's Bissouma over at Brighton. I know he's linked to Liverpool quite heavily, but still a great talent to have on anybody's books.
Yeah, I could see that. For me, yes, I would. I also think, again, I've said it many times on this program, I think with the stature of Pogba comes expectations. And I don't think overall he's lived up to those expectations for whatever reason. So if you can cash in on him, I would, and reshape the team. And the other problem is Pogba has never openly to the fans, whatever, publicly committed himself, to Manchester United, how much he wants to play for this club. So those are big issues for me. Declan Rice is a very young, promising player. Playing for Manchester United is different, week in, week out. If you want to challenge for the Premier League, you need to be really coming up, with the goods, in that respect. I'm not too sure if it would be my pick. You know what I mean? There's other names touting around. You got a player like Grealish, for instance. I think he would have the DNA probably to play for Man United and the stature for it, and he would have the ambition for it. But again, it would change the outlook of the team, because Grealish is a ball hugger. He likes to run with the ball. He likes to dribble and create things himself. So there's many different options that you can get. There are certain things in place. I still think there's like 3 or 4 holes that need to be really fixed
plugged,
before United go and challenge for the title.
Yeah, Grealish returning to action tonight, by the way, first time in 3 months. Jadon Sancho continues to be linked to Manchester United for a cheaper fee this time around, because that means 1 year less on his contract.